All right, here we go. Slow runs begin. It's not really Paragon farming in High Phillip. It's more like just
Such a brave soul.
work on the
Don't forget,
whispers manually.
always changes. Fortune favors the boy. See you soon. Lucky you.
Ooh, really? Primals. Hope they're good, because then I can actually play the Natalias again. Let's see. G4. Nice, except it doesn't have the resist, which is okay, I guess. The sacrifice there. That's cool. Boom! Oh, come on. Oh, man. The Natalias had to be bad. This is like this is like a season 28 uh like 28 and 29 basically. Yeah, it's like 29. It's like a freaking season 29 where people get to use vitality gloves. That's my log. I am not gonna care for this one. I'll keep this one. Um, where do I? Yeah, see, I already have like a reasonable area damage one, and then I have a CDR one with physical resist. So like, I don't need those. And then Marauder, I think I got an Ancient Quad, or like Ancient Quad potential one. Like here. See, I have an Ancient Quad potential one already. So it's like, here. Yeah, see, even this one is the attack speed quad potential. So like, it's so. I'll just trash this instead. I I'll keep it. All right. Anyway, that's a good. Well, finally seeing the Kadala gift the double primals, but I wish that the gloves were something that I can use. Like, um, I mean, this season they gave me shadow gloves before, but it was defensive. It was like all resistance version, and I didn't want that. I mean, it would have helped in the beginning, but then it would also stall whatever it was, and it was like I didn't want it because I played with attack speed variant, um, where I was like, working towards the 2.15 already at the time, and so I didn't want it, and it's fine. It was for the altar anyways, so I had to get the progression going. It was not like a usable one like my Stono Jordan, the cold SOJ. All right, 134. It'll be slow runs, but gotta do it. It'll be like practically okay, practically like 4.5 minutes.
Need more time.
I don't care about the time so much. It's more so that I want to practice not getting procced if I can. I tested it yesterday a little bit. Sometimes I'll have an accidental proc because Um, okay, well, that tells me a lot about proc. Um, so yesterday was proc because in the plague tunnels, you can't see the some of the terrain will block against the Hell Witches orange ball, and also sometimes the vultures. And then when you do certain GRs like this, the issue is that your impale um, kills the thing that like my bola wants to hit, even though it doesn't need to. But like that's why I prefer the no generator way back in the beginning, is because you will get too relaxed. Hey Marcin, you would get too relaxed with the bola shot anyway, because your impale is so strong to kill like 115s that you don't need the bola at all for 115s. So that's why the no generator is just better, because your active bar just doesn't care for the focus and the thing when your left click is failing. Now you can play the other version where the Injum or the Echoing Fury way, and you have the momentum to move forward, and it'll be easy that way. Quick question: we are 100% sure that. Well, I mean, you need you need area damage for cold, because you're well. First of all, it's over penetration, right? Over pen. So you're basically relying on going through an enemy, right? That's first of all. So it's basically Vala, right? And we know that Vala's plays area damage. I mean, God DH plays area damage, even though God DH is like single target, but it's also not single target because of the 9th series satchel, right? And God DH is one of the original strafe. Well, God DH came out in season 21, right? And it's the original strafer. So it's not about the procs thing. It's more so your build. And so you need area damage. Now for fire you don't, because you're going for straight damage, but I prefer having some area damage because you're needing to like kill whatever is on the side. Now if it takes away your damage, you don't want area damage on your fire side because you need the rolls. Nice. Yeah, cold is fine. If you're used to cold, you can play cold. Now, the problem with doing cold on 130 is that your time will be slower for, like, a specific reason. So, you're slowing down your Greater Rift to apply the purpose of the cold. So, if your gear is better for cold, you will see you have the damage, but you're slower, especially when it's not the right monster type. So while you wait, I'm gonna do my own stuff, but let me know when you're ready because oh come on. So anyway, just to continue, right, talking, is that when I gear check people, it's not about priority stats for me. It's about shifting of stats, right? Where where can you position those stats? And critical hit chance is a foundation. It doesn't matter what build it is, unless you're playing some niche build, like, the Broken Promises Ring, or Shimizu, or, in the Ethereal season, where, well, the Soul Shard season, sorry, the Soul Shard season, um, or whatever. Like, basically where there's a stat line that says, like, all your damage are critical hits or something like that, sure. But at the end of the day, critical hit chance is also still sheet damage, right? It's also sheet damage. Now, sheet damage doesn't matter, right? But it's a foundation. It's your baseline. So as soon as I saw your 130, it's not your skill level. It's the foundation that you don't have, right? And the foundation is that you can't do impale on your quiver. Your quiver is not ready for impale. Now, of course, when we talk about quiver, because there's so many rolls on it, and and this is why now, and this is why I don't like the time elapse thing. Because why? Oh, see, look at that. See, I procced somewhere, and the reason for that, well, not proc, but like I got really hurt, really bad, is because there was no monster for me that my bola for some reason didn't reach, or like I didn't like press my bola to where it exists somewhere, so I just got hurt immediately. But anyway, where the time elapse comes in, the most problematic about it is that the monsters, wow, a shield again, so I can just talk. But where the time elapse comes in is that all the monsters are dead before they do anything to you. And so it doesn't challenge your gear or your positioning. So what I like about these 134 that I'm doing is that it challenges my positioning. I don't care about the time. I already spent an hour in town talking. So I'm just talking about the time and the incoming damage. If you gear yourself, right, it's the same thing as other games. So if you played a game that has a different armor type, right? Plate armor, mail armor, leather armor, cloth armor, right? The type of the armor shows its weakness or strength in some way, right? So plate armor is obviously a tank, most likely. Mail armor is like the next tankish thing. So you wear armor, you wear equipment for a reason, right? Sure, you wear equipment to have damage, yes, but you also wear equipment for defense, right? There's some portion of defense in there. So where does the defense come in? You wear, like in first-person shooters, the Kevlar vest, for example, and the helmet. Now, even with a helmet, you can get a headshot, whatever, right? So it's just who saw who first and how accurate you are, and the latency and whatever, right? So you have some protection anyway, and so when you have the protection, you should use it to your advantage. So you just need to play that little bit safer, and you'll deal more damage. And so that's where I gain my 10%. If you die a lot, the 10% that I'm missing, I'm gonna lose even more damage. So my quiver missing 10%, the more I die, okay, the more the 10% hurts. Because I'm already missing 10%. I don't need to lose more. Dying loses more.
I grow weak.
Uh-oh.
I must wait longer.
I thought I could kill the spinner before.
None more time. I'm still waiting. Not
There's
ready
double
yet.
elites here. See, look at that. I maximized that Oculus
None
Ring
more time.
all the way to the end of that, all the way to the end of that yellow elite.
I'm still waiting.
So positionally speaking, even though this is a 134, right? That yellow elite was taken out because I maximized that, what, 6 seconds or whatever, the whole 6 seconds of that Oculus Ring. Had I missed 2 seconds, I would have to deal my own damage onto that yellow elite. So positionally speaking, right? If you can use a safer, nice. If you can use a safer Oculus Ring,
I
you
am
will take
coming
it.
to town.
And so that's the other thing about your 1251 is that if you're killing strangely, right, and you don't get to use an Oculus Ring for your elite pack, you're wasting time. So what does that mean? Well, didn't I just kill a monster? Right? You killed a monster, right? But your elite pack is still up. So where this is coming from is that you're missing even one chance of the ring. Okay? So let's say you have an elite pack and two like density monsters, right? Think about it. If you want to instantly kill this elite pack, well, obviously if you have the direct damage to kill them, right? But if let's say you have an Oculus Ring on your follower, you have two monsters, two other monsters, not just the minions, okay? Not just the elite pack itself. Well, if you count the elite pack itself, it's even more monsters, but it'll take time depending on whether it's a yellow elite or a blue elite, right? But anyway, if you think about it, when you have the two other monsters that isn't part of the pack, how you can make use of the two monsters is that you want to kill the other two separately so that you can get the Oculus Ring, right? And so that is the manipulation you can do. It doesn't happen as often as you want, but if you think about it, you can manipulate the situation. So, how do you manipulate it? Well, while you're playing against the elite pack, you move in the direction where you're killing the elite pack more than the density monster. So hopefully the density monster isn't getting the overpen, right? You don't want the density monster to get the overpen. You want the overpen to the elite pack itself, right? And so when the time comes to kill the second density monster that I'm referring to, you get an Oculus Ring as soon as the first one is almost used up. The first Oculus Ring is used up. So what this means is that you time yourself to have two Oculus Rings for one Elite Pack. And so when I'm pushing my Greater Rift sometimes, you will hear me say, I don't think I have enough Oculus Rings to kill this Elite on time. It's because I'm missing damage here already. I have to make back 10% somewhere, right? And so in order to make back 10%, well, this 10% is required already at the tier number that I'm doing, right? And so where I'm coming from is that if I can use additional Oculus Rings, I don't just magically make 10% damage. I'm using the game to generate 10% damage somewhere. So I'm going to try to have as many Oculus Rings as I can for that Elite Pack. This is just numbers, by the way. So this is how I'm playing the game. Close, but it's 8 crit. Now, crit chance, however, in this season is a little less because I'm at 62%. But the problem is that I can't go any lower. So, yeah. Close, but not close enough. Oh,
You look like you
I
could
need
use
to
a new
spend
what? I didn't even know I had that thing.
Ancient Sin Archu. Nope.
Hello there. Well, isn't
Oh!
that nice?
Oh! Here it comes. Please be please be good. This is the second one of the season. Please be good. Two, three, four, five. Wow, even the Mage Fist is awesome. Now this is scary. If the Mage Fist is awesome, there's a problem. Okay, it's not a it's not as bad as the first one. This is usable. It's yeah, it's usable. It's not the worst. My first one was worse. My first one was worse. It had two bad stats. This is just one bad stat. Well, one and a half. But the Mage Fist though is crazy. I mean, it's not quad, but it's practically crazy. Yeah, my first one was it's like all resist and something. I mean, I can go back and check, but anyhow, that was funny. I mean, I was talking in town for the most part. I hardly played any GRs, but I enjoy. But here's the funny thing, right? I spend so little time playing, but sometimes I get rewarded for quote unquote helping people, right? Of course, not all the time, but I get rewarded for wasting time, right? And so this was interesting. Yeah, when your stats are, yeah, this is not the best, but it's usable. The only downside is that I'm basically gonna need area damage somewhere. The only sad part about this is that I'm losing physical resistance, which my physical resistance and fire is exchanged, so I guess it's not terrible. So it's lucky that it is fire. Yeah, it's good for speeds, basically. That's interesting. So I have an area damage version. I have a resource version that's kind of funny. I have another area. So I can basically take this one away now, because that replaces that one. Yep. And then Mage Fists. I have this attack speed 15. So I'll just replace it that one. This has the area damage, but this is more for like a semi-quad potential. So anyhow. So yeah, that's cool. Alright, let's continue. And I'm not empowering because I need to save gold. I'll empower like in the future again. That was cool. Finally, I get more usable-ish.
Need more time.
And I could use that gloves
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
even for this
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring. So you see this juggernaut? It almost got taken out by just one Oculus Ring.
Need more time.
If I did not get an Oculus Ring, I would have most likely skipped it. I mean, this is only a 134, but I'm just saying it for the sake of saying it. And then, in terms of being able to use it, the gloves, I need to check something right here. I'm already using amplification.
Not ready yet. Need more time.
Oculus Ring. Bye-bye. Uh-oh. That was dangerous. Because I don't have the momentum, I think. I'm using Rocket Storm likely, I think. Yep. I shouldn't even be using Rocket Storm for speeds, but my save is for a push. That was close for the explosions. I know I'm taking going backwards, but I'm killing every monster I can. Oculus Ring.
I'm still waiting.
Oculus Ring.
Do you want more?
Need more time. Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring.
Sweet revenge.
Need more time.
Anything here? Of course, there had to be an elite right here. Uh-oh. That's bad. That was close. That elite is just not fun. So for example, this elite pack would have been a skip in a push. Because this is just nasty.
I'm still waiting. Need more time. I'm still waiting.
Dinners again. Wow, lots of soul lashers.
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring, thank you.
Sweet revenge.
Need more time. I'm still waiting.
But I'm ranking these whispers for my Wave of Light because I don't want to augment only a 125 on my Wave of Light. I want to augment like 134 and 135s.
Not ready yet. I'm still waiting.
Oops. Somehow that projectile was still flying within my Oculus Ring. It took it so long to travel. It's ridiculous. Oh, of course. Okay, 134.
Most impressive.
Yeah, these runs are so slow, but that's fine. I'm just, you know, taking my time. Okay. Huh. More dexterity. That's nice. And more vitality, too. Hmm. Marginal upgrade. 0.2, 0.7. Yeah, marginal stats. More dexterity. I mean, why not? More main stat. That's awesome. I've been working on the whispers. I don't have to augment at 125. I can augment at least, you know, a 130. You know, Oculus Ring. Even though the pinkish red ring is back there, it's too far already. And I got this hook layout to start. That's terrible. Uh, and I got a yellow elite.
Need more time.
Okay, Oculus Ring. It had to be a plague. This is so slow.
Not ready
Whoa. I didn't read what were the elite affixes. I just thought I could use the wormhole for fun.
yet. Need more time.
Oh man. This beam.
Not enough. I'm still waiting. Need more time.
But that pair of boots is almost perfect though. Because
I'm still waiting.
it practically gave me the vitality that I want to see on average. And in Captain Crimson, for example, if you don't have the boots, Captain Crimson boots that rolled good enough or well enough. Really? Is it this way or the other way? That was such a... Wow. Thanks, level up. I needed that.
Need more time.
When you're on Captain Crimson's, you need all the vitality you
Do that.
can get. And then of course I get this, wasting walking time even more.
I'm still
Red
waiting.
Fallen.
Your
But
fear betrays
you want all the vitality you can get, and that gave me what, 635 out of
Not ready
650.
yet. I'm still waiting.
vengeance.
And then more dexterity, obviously,
Not ready yet.
like above 600.
Need more time.
Every little bit of additional dexterity
I'm still waiting.
is just better. Which is why primals are good, right? Usable primals are good.
Need
Bleed,
more
you
time.
filth.
Oculus Ring, use it for every monster possible. I think my Oculus Ring went somewhere else.
I'm still waiting. Need more time.
Oculus Ring. Aw. Oh,
I wish I could do that.
another elite. Oculus Ring. Bye-bye.
Not ready yet.
Pylon, maybe?
Need more time.
Wow, now all the elites are here. I only need a little bit.
The Rift Guardian has found it.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
Oh, wow, really? What is that hand crossbow? What is going on today? In these slow runs. Okay, Garwolf again. Balecaster. Sad. Sad primals, but slow runs. Yeah, that's 6 today. Yeah, this set of primals is sad, but 2170. So this was 6:22 a.m. 2170 GR slow, super slow GR 134. Garwolf number 2 of the season, and Balecaster.
Let's see what we can do.
All right, so I have more gems that I need to rank. Wow.
I need to go back.
Today is interesting, huh?
You have
I don't know what's going
yourself
on.
worthy.
How satisfying.
Oh, this one's bad. If only this was, you know, had some use to it, it would be interesting. The sad part is that the primary stats are so, like, low in count per line that even if it did, it's not good enough. That's the saddest part about this weapon.
You look like you could use a new item of,
Huh.
usefulness.
You know, if only I was staying in Guardians, I would go for channeling shoulders more. But I still think I need gloves, even though I just got gloves. I think it's not a good time to go for gloves. I think I want to try offhands.
Well, isn't that nice? Are you ready? Don't forget, luck always changes. Let's see what happens, shall we? Ooh, that's nice. Can I have it back?
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
I wish you luck.
Really? Hmm. Interesting map.
I'm still waiting.
Ghostly Trio? Wow, Ghostly Trio, huh?
Need more time.
Oculus Ring.
I'm still waiting.
Where did the Oculus Ring go? I'm a bit confused.
Ready yet.
That was just a taste.
Need more time.
Okay. Of course.
I'm still waiting.
Okay. Let's go back up this way.
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring.
You won't survive that.
Channeling. 22%.
Need more time.
Spinners. Overlap. Wow.
Not ready yet.
Barely.
Bleed, you filth.
Come on.
I'm still waiting.
Barely killed it. Oculus Ring.
Need more time.
Okay.
That was just a taste.
I'm still waiting.
Where's the Oculus Ring again? Oh,
Need more time.
okay. Oculus Ring.
Not ready
Sweet
yet.
revenge.
Need more time.
This run is weird with the Oculus Ring positioning.
I'm still waiting.
It's a little bad. Power. 60%.
Not ready yet.
Spinner again.
I feel more powerful.
Accidental wormhole, but okay.
You won't survive that.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
Darkness awaits you.
Need more time. I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Not ready yet.
%. Shield to end.
Need more time.
Okay, lots of spinners, so
Bleed, you
shield to end is good. Even though this
Not ready yet.
6% took forever.
Guardian is here.
I'm still waiting. Hello.
Alright, let's see. Gems.
I am returning to town.
Your trial is complete.
Well done.
Okay. 2175. Okay. I think it's red at the start. Let's use it.
Need more time.
Max range. Max range.
I'm still waiting.
Oculus Ring.
Need more time.
Oh, thank you for moving. Safer.
I'm still waiting.
Oculus Ring.
Vengeance! Vengeance!
Need more time.
Oculus Ring.
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring right under my
I'm
feet.
still waiting.
Oculus Ring.
Need more time.
Oculus Ring. Oculus Ring.
Sweet revenge!
Where are the elites now?
Need more time.
Oculus Ring under my feet.
I'm still waiting.
That one's too far. Wasted. Okay, Oculus Ring. Where are the elites?
Need more time. Not
Wow,
ready yet.
that grotesque explosion.
Your fear betrays you!
Oculus Ring.
I'm still waiting.
Bye bye. Oculus Ring under my feet.
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring.
I'm still waiting.
I do it.
Need
I
more
mean,
time.
I don't know, but I do it. Yes, when I'm on Captain Crimson, I do it. If I don't have an Oculus Ring, I stand in the blue if I can.
I'm still waiting.
Yes, I do it for RCR, of course. Yep. I usually stand in my rings, like whichever one. See, even this pinkish red, even though it's at the backwards, I still use it, right? I mean, I
I'm still
try to use it.
Your fear betrays you!
Yeah,
Need
I
more
mean,
time.
again, we should use them if you can, but positionally speaking, the blue sometimes might not be correct either, so it's hard to like make use of it. But I use it because I like Oculus Ring. Any additional ring is just like, if there's no Oculus Ring, just use it, right? If it's not dangerous.
Need more time. feel more powerful.
Oculus Ring.
Not ready yet.
So like when I do these mid speeds, I'm, you know, practicing dodging elite affixes. I just made enough damage from that Oculus Ring. I was late to travel to it, but it still helped me kill the elite right on time, so it's fine. These slow runs,
Not ready yet.
the purpose is just to, you know, handpick your Oculus rings
I'm still waiting.
or the rings on the ground.
Need more time.
See, this one was bad because there's not enough Oculus rings to kill this yellow elite. So this run is even slower. I mean, I didn't get the good pylons anyway, and the beginning had not enough elite packs.
I'm still waiting.
But the idea of these slow runs is that you're using the. Come on, you're ready. You're okay.
Not ready yet.
You're using as many Oculus rings as you can, so that when you actually push rifts that you want to be able to use the time of deciding how to get the worth, the value of an Oculus Ring when you do get one. This is where the slow runs benefit you. Nice.
I am returning to town.
I mean, it should, right?
The blood runs through
It just,
How satisfying.
yeah, that was one of the slowest 134 I've ever had. Bike trap 12%. That's sad. Because it has the physical resist, that's nice, but the dexterity is low. Now the better question is, do I have an ancient one already? I think I do. Let me just check before I salvage. Yeah. I have one with 650 vit, which is basically this. And I got a new helmet, so that's why it's not saved properly. So, yeah, this is not good enough. Even though it has the physical resist, but not good enough. But this pair of boots will help. Speaking of the boots, I should try now to do some 15% impales. 15% cluster. It's gonna give me everything but strafe 15%. Impale 14, that's pretty fast. Ah. Think so. I don't remember it. But I use Wolf for God DH, for example, because I don't use special recipe, right? So it's additional damage either way. Multi-shot 15. It's giving me every single thing except Impale 15, right? And I'm at this end game where I need 15, even though 14 fast was good. 15 cluster arrow again. Impale everything but 15. Stray 15. Classic. I mean, I feel good that they gave me 14 quickly, but I need the 15% at this point. I can't. And this item is... There we go. Okay, that was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. The game knows a little. I mean, luckily that was pretty fast because I actually don't have very much resource on souls. Used quite a lot this season. And not to the best things, but I've used a lot of it. Right. Uh, the 135. It deserves the 135 for being very quick in giving me the 15%. So it deserves all that I can get. I mean, I can always like, you know, spend more time on a slower GR, but it's fine. So there's an upgrade. 0.4, 0.9. Nice. Very nice. I just wanted to finally just might as well appreciate it instead of sitting it there in case I accidentally do something. Even though my column 4 is, you know, a slow down column. Alright. Will I get overburdened? I might, but kind of want to continue the next run first. But yeah, this is a pretty good morning. Really? Really? This is a little strange of the day. Okay. Ghost Mortar. Oculus Ring under my feet. That's nice.
Not ready yet.
Will I get this? Nope. I have to use this Oculus Ring to kill him. Nice. Okay.
Need more time.
I'm just standing in it for fun. The other one is too far. Oh, I killed that elite. Whoops.
Not ready yet.
Wow, the new boots is already helping.
Need more time.
The new pair of boots is already helping. I can feel the increase, by the way. I know it's like
Not ready yet.
only 50 dexterity or something. But I'm feeling, well, I also have a bit more augment on it as well. But anyway,
That was just a taste.
Not ready yet.
squeezing this Oculus Ring to the end of it.
Need more time.
Yeah, I'm already feeling the increase.
Sweet revenge. I'm still waiting.
Oculus
Need more
Ring.
time.
This Oculus Ring is really far. It's pretty deadly too. It's double elites.
I'm still waiting.
I require
Oops. Wow, triple elite. I am in trouble here.
Not ready yet.
your fear betrays you.
I need another pylon before I come back.
I'm still waiting.
This elite pack is very difficult because it's shielding and it's nightmare.
Need more time.
Really?
Not ready yet.
The prophet would be pleased.
I'm still waiting.
I need a shield pylon, please.
Not ready yet.
Uh, this ring is so far back.
Need more time. Not ready yet. I'm still waiting. Need more time.
Power. Okay, I'll wait.
I'm still waiting.
Do you want more?
Need more time.
Okay. Spinners, of course.
Not ready yet.
Where's the elites?
I'm still waiting.
The Rift
There we go.
Guardian has found
My hatred is too low. Need more time.
Done. I'm just min-maxing on a low GR. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Sentak. How are you doing? I'm just ranking up my gems. Got 6 primals today. It's been really interesting drops today with these slow runs. I just got this pair of boots as an upgrade from like 50 more dexterity and a few more dexterity on my higher augment. Instead of using a 125, I already have a 135. Welcome everyone. Just finished blasting. Did you get your 5k yet? Are you like 100 behind now or something? I mean, I know your title. I've seen your Twitch title. You've been trying to get to your 5k. Are you like 100 away now or something? Or are you like, did you hit the 5k? Just over 150 to go. Yeah. Welcome everyone. I'm a lot where I like to do gear checks for people. I don't know every build, but I love to help people build their foundation. So I do slower runs, but I also like to make use of Oculus Rings during my slower
A
runs.
fine battle.
And
Might have.
if people were watching the preview, thank you very much for the follow. Very close now. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sentai, for the follow. Yeah, so I love making use of as many Oculus rings and as many pinkish red rings as I can. That's my preferred playstyle. And I didn't like getting cheat death proc. There were just 3 elite blues, even on a GR134. That's super easy, but I don't like to get cheat death proc. And so I decided to play a little safer by going to a different spot to get my progress and hopefully get a shield pylon to just negate that cheat death. Interesting conversation there, huh? Thank you so much for the follow, British Wyvern. I'm just I was supposed to spend my blood shards.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
today I've gotten like 6 primals and the shadow gloves, second pair of this season. This one has cooldown on it. So it's okay for a cooldown trifecta. Um, but now I'm hunting for my to fix my 10% on the quiver because I've done so on that quiver, right? I've done a 145 on the 36th try. I mean, 36 tries over different days of like 36 keystones. But my quiver is, yeah, today. Oh, yeah, two and bad. Yeah. So I got today's very strange. Kadala gave me 4 primals. Um, they were all basically okay, but 4 primals from Kadala today, and then my slow GR runs gave me the other 2. Yeah, so I'm not even like speeding GRs. Yeah, Kadala's been really strange this season. I haven't seen too many primals, but today has been really good. But yeah, so my 145, right? Like I've been using this fire. I've been using fire for the majority of my pushes, and I did this under 2100 and in 36 keys, so under 40, 50 keys. No fishing really. But if I do see full-fledged fire shamans, I generally just get frustrated and I would leave faster than I normally do. So when I do pushing, my method of pushing is that I will work towards my first pylon or towards the second pylon. And of course, if I'm behind time, I leave, right? Well, if we play cold, it's a little different, but because I play fire, um, you want a reasonable time lead or like a break even in some way. So it's different from cold. So the patience is different. But anyway, this quiver though, I have to make back like on average 10% damage. So you would think a GR145 with this quiver, I have to like generate 10% damage somewhere. And so when I do my mid speeds of these slow 134s that people don't do very often, right? Slow runs are just a waste of time. But when I do these slow runs, the favorite thing to do is to practice how to get your Oculus rings and decide how safe are each of those Oculus rings or the pinkish red rings that you get from your potion power. You find 2 for Templar and this who gives crit. Yeah, so I'm
Fake smiles on you today. What? I didn't even know I had that thing.
I like to use Oculus rings in a certain way, and that's how I gain my damage.
Anything could happen. Well, isn't that nice?
But I love helping people do gear checks foundationally, and I try to help other people do the 150 before myself. So welcome everyone. I hope you guys continue to enjoy, even though I play really slow compared to everyone else who loves, under 2 minutes, whatever, right? I mean, my purpose of these slower runs is because I want like 134, 135 augment gems by myself while augmenting my LOD wave of light with 134, 135s instead of 125s. And I'm also just, you know, increasing my paragons to where, yes, I need to work on more paragons now that I got my 145 done in under 2100, but I need to get more paragons now because it's too low. Yeah, yes. LED Wave of Light is very, very, very fun. Yes, it is very, very good.
Fortune favors the bold. Don't forget, luck always changes.
You need to finish building your monk. Yeah, I actually, my monk, right? Funny enough, like when I did this one, I was given an incense torch for fun. My friend was like, "Do you want this incense torch?" I was like, "Yes, please." So normally when I ask for gear, it's because it's class specific, and if you are talking about like one forgotten soul or three forgotten souls, I would prefer, the person get their forgotten soul someplace else than a class specific item. So I got this incense torch from a friend, and then I got like 3 Kiroshiro's blade from a friend because I love to do sanctified Kiroshiro's blade. I did that even in season 27 before we had a cute recipe page 11 for the rabbit strike. And the reason why I love to sanctify Kiroshiro's blade is because this is not even the version that I want to use in terms of primary stats on the Kiroshiros. My favorite Kiroshiros is not 10% damage or anything. It's either the 8% elite damage or the life per hit especially. So my favorite version is 10 CDR, 24 area, and life per hit because I use density as my health pool oscillation, for example. So anyway, regarding building the monk, I first tried to get as close to the 3 things I want on it, which is as close to 50 crit hit chance as I can. So at first it was like 42 to 45. I didn't like it, so I waited to play. And then I love my uh, cooldown reduction to that 64, the magical 64. So I gradually worked to the 64 first before playing. And at first I only had like 87 area damage, and I didn't like that, so I didn't play the monk yet until I got to the 110 plus. And then the whole purpose of this monk is only when I get stuck on my impale. So in season 27, I only played my monk after I got stuck to 144. Like I couldn't do 144 impale back then because I was a fire player, right? I mean, I still am a fire player for impale, but I play only the monk after I get super stuck. So unless I get super stuck with the 146 in the near future for my impale, I try not to play too much of my wave of light because in the end, if like my playstyle is that if you wanted paragons, you would have done it in the first place, right? So that's my logic to it. Now, of course, paragons is paramount, right? But at the end of the day, you would have done it in the first place. Like for example, my so for example, I enjoy the seasonal theme. So if I were to play a support, now I would rather play the barbarian support if I were a support player. But I also enjoy the DPS side of the seasonal theme, so I prefer playing DPS. So now, of course, I don't get very lucky in only getting certain groups with friends that actually, when I ask for some help in leveling some gems, then I'll ask for it. But of course, I don't have a support save, for example. Like I don't have a support save. I just prefer playing, the way that I prefer playing, which is basically just work on this, and I also push periodically. uh, Basically, if you see my title, right, my title shows the majority of my push attempts. And so even for Impale in the beginning, just to show my interest in the Impale, right, I actually, in season 27, when I played this seasonal theme, I actually played the Brain Dead build because I enjoy Elusive Ring that the Demon Hunter has. You always play support, DH, have over 15k hours. Wow. Yeah, the only season I played support, like full on support, was season 4. Back before the high regen monk was like in season 5 or 6, way before when it changed to the health globe version. That was when I would get online and then I would actually manually talk in general chat, or I would like message people and whisper people. Like I would actually do that, but I'm past that. I'm just not into all that. But of course, the one thing bad about it is that after that season, I've made so many friends that way, and then they would expect me whenever I come online. It's like, now, of course, I appreciate that they love, asking me first to fill the spot because I know what I'm doing, for example, and that's great. I'm thankful for that. At least you saved me a priority spot. But when I come online, the first minute, I would prefer if I could warm up, whether it's farming keys or just doing what I want to do first, right? So I don't actually enjoy the message that come in and say like, hey, we got a spot. Do you want to fill as a support? So it's not that I don't want to play meta. It's more that I just don't like that message. And the person is fine. Like, so everyone in real life, for the most part, they have a very positive attitude. Like the friends that I make, they are very nice and everything. I have nothing against that. The problem is the in-game attitude. When they message me, I just don't feel that whole support thing. Now, on the other hand, if I signed up, like let's say next season, let's say I organize or someone organizes like a group thing, right? Well, next season I'm actually on vacation, but given an example, if I sign up a core group as a support, that's totally different. And that's how I make that expectation or meet that expectation, is that if I signed up to be a support, that's totally different. Or if I'm actually the support for that core group, then eventually I have to have the support at some point for the group. But if I didn't sign up for it, I'm playing to the style that I just prefer, right? And I help out in different ways. Like, for example, even as a DPS, when somebody asks me to look forward, I do that. I actually prefer looking forward just a little bit, just like a support does. And in season 22, for example, when the Necromancer was the strongest, I was on God DH, right? DPS God DH. Now, obviously, I should have had my support DH instead, but it was an Auric Crater. The Auric Crater layout was the big central tile. That central tile, like that's the only best Auric Crater layout. That layout, the central place has like, the southeast ramp. So I would look for an elite on the southeast ramp as my God DH in preparation for the Necro, my Necro friend. So I would go down there, look for the elite, pull the elite manually as a God DH, right? DPS, sure, it's ineffective, but that's the point. I would look for the elite, attract the elite, and then I would go to the top left in that circular roundabout burst before revealing the middle right, where that's the secondary pylon spawn point, right? So before revealing that, depending on the percentage, right, I'm not going to ruin that necessarily all the time either. Not intentionally anyway, right? So I know my stuff in a sense, but I just don't play like support. I support in a different style, and so I don't die on the God DH. I just pull the attention to myself while the Necro is a Bone Spear, like just keeps casting Bone Spear while I'm like, spinning merry-go-rounds on my Vala God DH. So I'm also keeping my friend alive by giving him less attention from getting the attention away from him as best I can. Obviously, the minions would get him, the yellow minions would get him because I'm not a support barb or something like that, right? But the support DH isn't going to be able to pull like those minions away from him either anyway. So I'm attracting as much as I can and giving him that, line of fire. I mean, not that I can make like a whole line like a like a queue for him to like bone spear like everything in a line or something, but at least it's, half as safe while playing a DPS. So I do have that support mechanical sense. I just prefer playing a DPS, which also gets me in trouble with the Paragon number. I get it. But this is how I enjoy the game in a different way. And then on top of it, I actually help other people get their 150 by describing and visualizing different things, then helping myself of my own 150. But of course, eventually I have a cold version of Impale, for example, bringing it back to this season, is that eventually I'm going to try the cold, and I have been practicing a bit of the cold Impale. But the worst thing of the cold Impale for me, anyway, as a player, is that the progress bar tests my patience too much. I just don't have the patience for a gold bar. When my progress bar is, like, there's too much gold bar, I get, well, somewhat impatient. I mean, I know how to play a big pylon play, but the cold build just feels so bad that I almost want to, like, turn off the, like, the whole interface. Yes, me too. I actually got my, so my solo primal this season, right? My solo primal this season was uh, this one. This was my solo primal. So going back to what I was talking about, so I went on a tangent, but the tangent was to explain why I don't normally play support, right? But this save right here, in the majority, I played this setup to push the Brain Dead. I'm pretty sure you heard of the Brain Dead Impale, right? So I actually played the Brain Dead Impale in season 27 all the way to like 135, right? But I had bad rings, non-ancient rings. So I actually pushed the Brain Dead all the way to 135 in season 135 done in 20 keys in season 27. And then I was like, whenever the season recycles, and it just so happened to be, right? Then I'm actually going to redo the challenge of, yeah, but last time I did COE. last time I did COE, back in season 27, but I had a non-ancient one. Both my rings were non-ancient, right? Both my rings were non, and this save is not augmented because it was a newer ring. But anyway, I actually pushed this season past the 135. So it was 136 because of the season 30 buff to the 6 piece bonus, right? From the 75,000% to the 120,000 and the 25,000 to the 40,000, right? So I expect that I can do higher than the 135 done back in season 27, which is then I pushed the 136. And then I was like, well, it's got to be higher than 136. So I did 137. And in that whole text on the left, right, even though it's hard to see now, but sometimes you can see the text on the left, that whole list of crap on my overlay is actually my list of push success stuff. Now, on the screen that you can read it at some point, right, when it's not so, like when the color of the background is a little bit better, or if I make that list a little less information, but I actually pushed all the way to 139. Now, my friends in the chat was like, you can do, yeah, I can move away to be a bit clearer. I can move to a better spot or something. But basically, I did all the way to 139 because my friend was like, you can try 138, right? You can try 138, and I managed the 138. And then I was like, you know what? I need some more paragons, and 138 doesn't feel good, right? To stop there. So I challenged it to go to the 139, even though I shouldn't have. But then I did it anyway. And so I tried the 140. Now, this is pushing the Brain Dead, where Brain Dead is supposed to be a speed build or a mid-speeds build, right? But then I tried 3 times of the Brain Dead, and I failed. And I was like, you know what? Now it's a waste of time, because 140 is definitely beyond the scope of the Brain Dead setup. Now, of course, if I had more Paragons, then the Paragon is main stat is king anyway, right? So after 3 tries, I decided that since I'm lacking damage, well, guess what? The proper, well, I like to use the word proper, the focus and restraint is the obvious setup, right? So knowing that the Brain Dead version already did the 139, or at least showed the potential that it could do the 139, and it did for me, RNG-wise, then a focus and restraint is even more powerful than a 139 with a bad build of a bad push build anyway, right? And so as soon as I got that, by the way, this season, I did in one game session within 3 hours, right? That 2.5 or 3 hours, I got the 139 done, and then I went to the 140, 141, 142, and 143. So I got all 4 tiers within 3 hours. Now, of course, it's not just like fishing in majority. I just used like what, 6 to 8 keys or something. I'm just saying it for the sake of saying it. I used like under 10 keys to get the, I think it was under 10 keys to get the 5 tiers done within the 3 hours. And that's because I only finally started using focus and restraint right after. And speaking of the, so for the focus, I got lucky after a while that I got an ancient one with the damage range. So the funny thing about when you talk about restraint, I actually this season haven't been getting any good restraint rings. I'm struggling on restraint rings. The funniest thing though, look at this restraint ring. Now, why I wrote area is not because obviously Cold needs it. The reason I wrote area was actually because I was playing my UE multi-shot. Because my UE multi-shot was missing area damage. And I was like, they gave me this restraint ring. So I might as well turn it into area for my UE side. I think I used up 60 keys fishing for a good 140 solo. Yeah, that my solo 140 I think was first try, right? No, first try after focus and restraint. So 3 tries was the fail because I tried it with the Brain Dead. And it didn't work. But if I had, used focus and restraint, I would have already done it on the first try within the next keystone. And going back to the UE, right? And the reason why I pushed the UE, well, guess why I pushed the UE? So, in the beginning, before I completed the altar, right? Before I completed the altar, I had like 8 or 9 primals before the altar was completed. And then I had a big dry spell. Okay, I had a very big dry spell. That, where are my double primals? Like, I even checked several different times when my friends asked me in chat, like, did you remember to click the thing? And every several times I go to the altar and say I did. And I even looked. So I had a huge dry spell between completing the altar and my next double primal, or my first double primal. And then when I finally got the double primal, I got this and a Leoric Signet. Now, this was cool because it had the max discipline, obviously. That's the first thing. Well, aside from the fact that you want the legendary power tax of 200%, obviously, and it's primal, so it's 200, right? So the first thing is the max discipline, right? The second thing that was cool is because of the 8% elite damage on it. Sure, the build wants cooldown for your vengeance or area damage for the build of area damage that you want, but it lacks elite power at some point. So I actually found it interesting that I got the 8% elite on there, in addition to the 12% max discipline. That's the first thing. So anyway, the reason why I went straight to multi-shot was because my helmet. Now, before I went for this helmet to multi-shot, by the way, I did the GR 140 and before on the UE as well, with this helmet being 1000 vitality, by the way. I actually had 1000 vitality, like default 1000 vitality. So I never touched this helmet because it gave me 1000 vitality. I only switched to multi-shot finally for 141 because I like damage. but I kept the 1000 and moved the multi-shot, the second of 3 multi-shot places, onto the quiver instead. Okay, so that's how I was thinking about it. So first multi-shot is the boots, and normally is the helmet. But because the helmet gave me default 1000 vitality, because I'm still lacking paragons, right? I might as well keep a default 1000 vitality until I need the damage. So this was holding my second multi-shot slot out of the 3 slots. And then even with this 14% multi-shot, my 141 is still very tricky, by the way. I actually the UE starts being difficult at 141, even after this additional little bit of 14% multi-shot. Now, speaking of this, when you say, oh my gosh, right? I'm such a long-winded person, but the suspense is here. Look at this. I got this as a drop. And this was where it gave me the drive to push UE, was seeing this drop. Like in the middle of the season. Or like in the middle of all these weeks that I've played. This is the bow that made me want to push UE. The quad potential bow. This is the bow, the stats that make me want to push UE. And since I have a difficult time with the amulet, so I jumped the sanctification to the amulet. That's not the usual way to go about it, because it depends on your weapon and offhand, right? And so I was struggling, because I was struggling on damage somewhere, right? And I was using a non-ancient chest piece the whole time. And I didn't get good ancient chest pieces. And I was like, I haven't used the cube recipe page 11 for my UE setup, because my UE setup is like primal looking, ancient looking setup, right? So where do I put the cube recipe page 11? Where do I put it? I decided that since I was previously using a non-ancient chess piece, right? I don't know if my push on the UE is marked with the non-ancient chess piece or not. I don't remember. Is it? Yes. This is the chess piece I was using for my 140, and I was right under 2k Paragon for my 140 UE. It was so cool on that 140 clear. By the way, it was like a graveyard. It was like a graveyard that was crazy, if I remember correctly. It was like well, it was one of those. I mean, I have the log that I can go back to, but it was one of those that it was just amazing. But anyway, I was using this chess piece the whole time because it had the max discipline on it already. That's obviously the first thing, right? But I was like, you know what? Where do I use when I was struggling, the 141? I was like, where do I put the cube recipe page 11? Well, since I don't have an ancient chess piece, it's not often you get to do this. But since it's a priority location for max discipline, you would do it, because that's the point of the cube recipe page 11. You want to put the priority on the set bonus or the multiplier in some fashion, right? And the chess piece is part of it. And so you would not normally think about it, but it's there for a reason. And so I did this in the middle. And shockingly, I got the best RNG. I even during that time after I struggled a few 141s, I had I think 3 UE chess pieces in my inventory ready to use cube recipe page 11 with my limited amount of resources. Okay, so I don't have very many primordial ashes, right? Like compared to most people. I have more primals, obviously, that I should salvage. But anyway, I'm usually pretty low on this. So I had 3 UE chess pieces ready to sanctify the page 11. And so the first try, I got this. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, at the time, I didn't even have a whisper ready for this. I was not ready for such almost a godly perfect roll, right? By default anyway. I wasn't ready. So what I did was, because my simplicity strength happened to be a 134 simplicity strength, I sacrificed my 134 simplicity to augment this right away, because I didn't have a prepared whisper that was ready for it. And the reason why I would augment a higher augment is because so when it comes to augmenting, right? A TLDR of augmenting is that I use a higher number to designate whether this item needs work or not. And I know it sounds silly, because eventually you want to augment 150s anyway, right? But the whole idea is that if the item is kind of bad, you just augment a 125. If the item is better, technically speaking, while you're doing speed GRs, you should be leveling up your whispers or whatever, right? So then you would augment the better items that you have, the better roll items, with a higher augment number. Obviously, if you have all 150s, then you do all 150s, right? But the point is that, yes, initially though, if you need the damage, you augment 125 immediately. But if you're already delayed, you might as well augment in a delayed fashion to the point where it matches up to your speed GR potential. So you would actually augment a different number, so that what it does, okay, what this weird augmenting number method does is that it's like a bookmark. It's like a quick mouse over. It helps to quickly mouse over, which of course, my shadow doesn't say it very much, because I augment everything with a 125 that I should replace at some point, right? But in general, I have this augment set up to where it's like a bookmark that if it has a higher augment, it usually means that it's staying for a longer time. And of course, I don't have 150s because I'm not a support player. I'm not just saying that for the sake of saying that, but in the sense that since I'm only capable of a certain amount of speed GR and like relative speed to get my whispers a certain rank, I use the rank number as a bookmark. Yes, exactly. I mean, that's part of it, right? The other way is obviously to just play Wave of Light and, work on it that way, right? So basically, people can use the S tier builds or the super S plus or S star builds to get their 150 the other way, right? So if people are like super on the Necromancers, they would do Necromancer 150s in the stronger seasons for Necro, right? And so on. So there's always a way to get your 150 in a different way as well. But for the most part, is that if you start with a support or if you signed up for as a support, you would be able to get 150s like pretty much right away. And so I like whenever I do like so I'm sure you've been playing since the 100 augment, right? The rank 100 augments. So back then, rank 100 augments is like a baseline, and the newer baseline is obviously 125. So this whole idea of the weird augment number thing is that the baseline was 100, and then any primals that I get would be like a 120 basically, or like a 121 augment. And I know it's like, well, that took a lot of work back then to get a 120 rank gem, right? But you want to appreciate the usable primal. So to appreciate the usable primal, you want to augment the primal not with 100. And back then, also, you spend like 30 minutes to get to 100, just about, right? On average, it's like 30, 35 minutes to get to a 100. Why would you spend a 100 and then re-augment it with a 120 later anyway? So you're just wasting a full hour for 2 augment gems instead of just one straight out 120 or 121 for appreciating the luck of a usable primal, right? So I have all these weird like little bits of things that I do, but that also gives me that little RNG that, okay, so the RNG is like saying, you seem to know how to appreciate something, so I'm going to help you, right, in some way. Now, it's not always the case, but that's how I play, and that's like the way I bookmark. Now, of course, the majority of these are like 125 is because I just had no time to do that way. But for now, I just got this pair of boots just now, and so to appreciate the luck that I got, where I got a side grade, right, I had a 556. So my previous boots, right, the previous boots to that is this. It was a 556, 609, 127 all resist. And then just now, while I was getting the 6 primals at random times, I actually got a drop of this. I wasn't gambling a Kadala, I got a drop of this while I was doing these super slow 134s. And right now I'm in town talking, right? So obviously I'm not getting Paragons, but so I'm even slower. But to appreciate the RNG giving me a lucky upgrade or a side grade or a marginal upgrade, which could be a primal, which it's kind of a primal already, especially when the vitality fits the Captain Crimson side more, right? You want as much vitality as you can for the Captain Crimson side eventually. So to appreciate this, and because I know I can do like 134s pretty easily, I might as well augment this with a 135 to appreciate the luck that I got. So this is all like little superstition and like little bit of being thankful and whatnot. But that's how like I play into the game rather than just like blah 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 blah. I'm kind of like min maxing, but in a bit of a stranger way. And then when I'm doing my push attempts too, I kind of um make it a little different mini game to where I'm using the least amount of keys that I can and figure out what I need to do to achieve it, to achieve the clear. Now, of course, at some point that's not going to work because that's like watching another new friend, right? He spent almost 3,000 keys now on his 150 impale. So to the expectation, I'm definitely not going to try 3,000 literal keys for like 5-6 minutes each, right? That's more than a month or whatever, right? So I'm not going to do that eventually, but I'm not there yet. So I need to build a checklist. And that checklist is important to know exactly what I need and what I could play, such that by the time I get to the fishing, I would start knowing what I'm fishing for and how I would play it. So I'm doing these little things that take more time, but I'm building the checklist. Yeah, that's the other way to play, right? The other way to play is to get your paragons, and that's one of your goals too, right? You have a different objective. Like everybody's objective is like this season I want 3K paragon. Next season you want 4K paragon. Next season you want 5K paragon. Now that's one way to play it, right? And then the other thing about that is that you can play more classes and more builds that way, because that's the paragon breakpoints for more builds. So if I were to play in that direction, I would try to make more builds or play more classes. Now the only thing stopping me is character slots. So most unfortunately, I try to keep like reasonable like 3 mil, 5 mil, some of them are 2 mil, which I will replace eventually. But like so this season with the UE gear that I have, I'm saving the UE side as my career profile. So my UE bow, for example, as a career profile, if you think about like World of Warcraft profiles, like for example, if you're like really proud of, look at this, my guild, or if you're a guild leader, let's say, which I think you are as well, or a clan leader, where you guys did like, let's say 25 Lich King kills. So you're really proud of your career profile for that one character, or maybe even 10 characters that you have for Lich King kills, right? Then my career profile is like uh saving like what drops you got during the season. Now, when you run out of space, however, you do consolidate. So I do have one character every now and then where it's as many primals as I can because now I ran out of space. But in general, as a career profile perspective, I run out of character slots in order to play the 4K and make use of the 4K or 5K Paragon if I actually make it, which I won't because I'm not playing meta in the most part, right? So I won't get there. But if I do get there though, then what I would be doing, or I should be doing, is making more classes that are opened up in order to do it. So for example, God DH takes about 6K or whatever, 5 to 6K for the 150, right, at minimum. So if I had the potential of reaching 5 to 6K, then it opens up for the God DH setup. So in my mind, if I were to play the Paragon direction, I would open up to my favorite build to push. But that's also a second objective in the point of getting Paragons to do something. So for me, in my other direction of gameplay is that I actually prefer to push gradually in terms of like where I think I can do to show the damage. Because in a sense, that is there's a core foundation of the data table, right? The S tier data table, especially. So when the S tier data table has its meaning in several different ways, and one of the ways is that for people that don't have enough time to play. Now I have time to play, but I actually enjoy helping other people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for staying and listening. I'm a long-winded person and I chain a lot, so it's not very good. But I actually like to create the conversation rather than just playing my game. And enjoy your lunch. Thank you so much for the raid, and I hope I didn't bore your group. But anyway, enjoy your lunch. I'll continue playing now. Ah, pinkish red ring, nice. Oculus Ring, can I use it and kill? Oh, Illusionist, of course. Oh, I killed right at the end of that Oculus Ring, perfect. So this is how I love the Oculus Rings, by the way. That's about it. Like, I actually prefer, like, min-maxing the Oculus Ring, even during, like, warm-ups like this. So this is why I enjoy playing the slower runs, is because I get to use the Oculus Ring to its potential. So that when you play the higher stuff, when you know that it's even more difficult to use them, you find the opportunity to use them. And sometimes there's a safer spot too. Not always, but when you do get them like right under your feet like this, then it's perfect. But anyway, catch you later. Oh, why is the pinkish red ring so far away? And this yellow elite is like a critter, so it's taking less damage unless I'm close. Oculus Ring, can I kill it? Yes. So I had to wait for an Oculus Ring in order to take down that elite. Now, of course, these runs are still slow anyway, but the whole point is to practice Oculus Rings. So that it's like a secondary objective while gaining paragons.
Need more time. I'm still waiting. Not
Shield.
ready yet.
Nice. Oh, that saves some time.
Feel my wrath.
I do want to get to 2200 though,
I'm still
and
waiting.
then try the UE next time. Hopefully that's enough for my UE 141 RNG. The RNG for the 141 has been quite nasty. Shielding. What a waste of time.
Darkness awaits you.
Oculus Ring. Come on, stop shielding. Oh, of course my pinkish red ring is like
Need more
outside the
time.
map because of how I faced as well. But
I'm still waiting.
alright. Where are you going?
Not ready yet.
Alright. The ads are not worth the time.
I'm still waiting.
Don't shield up, please. Don't shield up. Thank you.
Need more time.
Is there another elite I can kill? Yes. Oculus Ring, maybe? Nah.
Won't survive that.
Need more time.
Shield is almost up. I'll just take this one and... Yep. Alright. Shield is basically down.
Not ready yet.
Of course, there's another elite here. That's annoying. I almost got charged there. That was way too close.
I'm still waiting.
Alright, the yellow elite's down. With that Oculus Ring, pretty good.
The Rift Guardian has found
Oops, I forgot to click the pylon, but
Not ready yet. Not enough hatred.
it's okay. I actually enjoy this.
I'm injured.
Oh, I ran into the thing instead of dodging it. Wow, I ran right into it. So one of my flaws and one of my mistakes often is that like
I'm here to help.
unintentionally I already dodged the thing, but I run back into it. So like yeah, see you Martian. Thanks for being here. But yeah, more than often I run back into the problem. Yeah, what my new 135. That's good that I got a new 135 gem now.
your skill has grown.
I've become stronger.
Yeah, I don't really care about the time on the time elapse. It's more about getting that practice of the Oculus Ring and making sure that you don't get cheat death proc, which I did. So that was terrible. Like in a speeds to get a cheat death proc is bad. So that's being critical, right? Yeah, this is 12 area damage is not good enough. I've already got a better one anyways. 20%. Alright, so I have 17 more paragons to go.
Embrace your power, and you will survive.
Shielding back
Not ready yet.
for the big guys that give the shield to adjacent targets. Oh, end up being an illusionist too. Almost dead. Nice. The Oculus Ring ended
Not ready.
just after the kill. Alright, full clear that spot. 11%.
Need more time.
Huh. I guess I'll just walk backwards for this ring. And then walk forward for this ring.
Not ready yet.
Full clear this floor. Yeah, that's a little overkill. Okay. Man, I'm getting a lot of Weeping Hollow slash Fields of Misery today.
Still waiting.
Man, if only I was pushing, huh? Maybe this is telling me I should play. I should try to impale.
Feel my wrath.
But I still want 2200 Paragon first, though, because I'm lacking Paragons based on just not being as good on cold impale. I need Paragons instead.
Do you want more?
Not ready yet.
So like, I would prefer playing the 146 after I get 2200 at minimum. Even though that's probably not far enough from my previous one,
I'm still waiting.
because my previous one was 2093 for the 145. Power pylon.
Not ready yet.
For what? For this elite? Shielding. Shielding Waller. Nah, it's okay.
Need more time.
Oh, but it did teleport me. Well, thank you for teleporting. Because that sped it up
Just the thing.
without needing me to use the power pylon for you. Man, kind of greedy playing a power pylon later.
I'm still waiting.
Okay, the elite is following me. The two elites here.
Vengeance.
Okay,
Need more time.
I guess since I have two elites, I can go for the power now.
Not ready yet.
Like this. They actually followed. They were critters that were really fast.
You
So
won't
I didn't
survive
need to
that.
move very much. Were they all of the critters though? I don't think so, right? I didn't see the orbs. So they must be here somewhere. Well, this is the other blue. Where is the other
Not ready
blue?
yet.
Did I kill the other blue? I mean, I should have checked the kill text, but I'm not using the kill text side. Oh well.
That was
Need
just
more
the
time.
Huh. Pinkish red with a power pylon. Easy.
I'm still waiting.
Huh.
The Rift Guardian has found
Alright, I still have a bit of the power.
Not ready yet.
Bye-bye. So I ended up having just enough power to reach the Rift Guardian too. So, hindsight, it actually worked out just enough for me to like stall the power,
You have a gem?
right? Hmm. I should probably just work on this one. Come on, 130? Thank you.
Need to go back.
excellent.
My respect.
That was a lot faster than that 630 something on the one of the previous ones. Uh, not good enough. Unfortunately, it can get all resist, but it's not good enough. The dexterity is under 600, so unfortunately, this is not an upgrade. That's pretty sad. Cold Ancient, but it's only 78. It has the area, but it's all over the place. It's like medium rolls everywhere. And then the percentage is too weak, so it doesn't matter. Alright, let's
You look
gamble
like you could
more
use a new weapon. Don't
quivers.
forget, luck always changes.
Come on. Can I get that primal quiver? Holy point shot, maybe?
Fortune favors. That will look nice on you. You look like you could use a new item. See you soon. Do come back again.
Not good enough. The time? Okay. I should try to get that 2200 though. So maybe I should just go a little lower now. And just try to get it a little faster. But I like my 134s though. I'll just stick with the 134. It doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, this is not like a map that the Fire Impale likes, but I've had Ice Porcupine, which is great in comparison. But yeah.
I'm still using it.
Oculus Ring.
Not ready yet.
This is not a good spot now. But the yellow elite is like an illusionist, so this is bad. I'm just getting trapped in here. The question is this the main guy? Oh, it was. I'm surprised that the main guy was actually up front.
I'm still using it.
Now the bad news is the minions are gonna just lock me in place down here. I have to like escape now?
Not ready yet.
Wow, that was just too... Is this a double pack or what? Probably just the minions. Felt like a double. I think it was a double. Yeah, it's a double. No wonder I got hurt that bad. I was like, there's no way a 134 can hurt that bad. It was a double. And the reason why I didn't know it was a double because I don't use the chat text, engage text, like, as much as I used to. So, I only, like, saw the orbs, like, 2 different orbs from the minions, the yellow elite minions, that I know that it was actually a 2. And then, the other reason why I knew it was a 2 is because I felt like I was under way, like, I was under so much pressure as though I was pushing GRs. I mean,
I'm still
the
using
speed of this is slow, so it feels that way, but the number of affixes I felt was like 2 elite packs, and it was. Even though I thought there was only 1, it was in fact 2. But I was cornered, or I didn't move forward myself, but I didn't want to engage a third, for example. So, in a way, I kind of like played to my own demise as well. of getting cheat death proc, that is. A lot of arcane packs this rift, but the time is pretty good in comparison to my slow rifts. This is still on pace for how much I've explored. I'm gonna try to get a pylon on this floor even though you shouldn't. I probably shouldn't, but it's probably spawned already.
My hatred is too low.
Unless it didn't. And then now I'm gonna spawn it. And it better be a speed, because then I can speed out to the next floor. That'll be great.
I'm still waiting.
Because I'm going the opposite direction. So a speed would be the best, since I went the opposite direction.
Not ready yet. I'm still waiting.
A little odd, isn't it?
Not ready yet. Need more time.
This is a little odd.
Not ready yet.
A little surprised.
I'm still
Oh.
waiting.
It was hiding here. I was like, there's no way I didn't get a pylon when I know that there's like 2 pylon spawn points probably on this floor. Really? The pickup didn't pick that up?
Not ready yet.
Huh. Overlap. Easy.
Sweet revenge.
Need more time.
Power to end. Perfect.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
I'm still waiting.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Oof. Almost got me. I mean, it did get me, but I thought I was gonna get cheat death propped.
I may be able to help.
That was a little odd. I should just work on getting everything away from 125. That
Returning to town.
I grant you the power of
I've
your
become more
probably
capable.
need another 135 gem. I need like about 3 135s, I think. So I should actually rank up some of the other ones. Ooh, Ancient Shoulders for the UE side. Will it be better than the one I got? See. Ooh. It has the 20 area, but why is the dexterity so low? It has the 20 area that I want though. So, I mean, my dexterity is low anyway. But it is still a side grade. Because now I don't have to waste time. First of all, I don't have to waste time for 20 area. Second of all, I can get 8 CDR instead. So, and the secondaries are nicer. So this is helpful for my UE because it gets the CDR that I need. I need every little bit of CDR. that I can get. So this is another upgrade. Another upgrade. That's nice. I'm actually gonna take a screenshot, even though it's not gonna help me. I think I should just uh you know, swap the build first and then take the screenshot instead. Okay, so that's pretty good. Alright, so while I'm on here, let's hope for the luck to get the 8 CDR anyway. When I don't need vitality, it gives me almost max. And then the CDR is nowhere to be seen. Isn't that funny? Oh, 8. Nice. There we go. Yeah, the dexterity is bare minimum, and I lost some resists, but I did get 2 CDR, and potentially just waiting for Forgotten Souls to get that 20 area over there instead. And then now that I got this, I can augment it with something else instead of a 125. So every little bit makes up for the lowered dexterity. I mean, it balances it out, that is. Yep. And the area will now be 127, which means the next to fix is the gloves. Once I get the gloves, I can get myself above 130 area, which is what I want. So I need the area on the gloves. Man, that's good. That's good. So, gonna save, whip, save. Okay. So today I got a pair of boots upgrade, a pair of shoulders side grade. Well, both are side grades actually. Now I just need the RNG to give me the quiver, please. I really need a fire quiver if I just for the sake of the fire side to be reasonable. Or a switch necklace that's like, you know, a good one.
Enemies on the move. Surround.
Need more time.
There's an elite yellow in the corner, it's shielding. Don't really want to play shielding. But it's a... Did it?
Not ready yet.
Wow, it walked so fast. I didn't want to. I didn't want to engage him, but he walked so fast. And I think there's a blue.
Not ready yet.
Of course, that one orb is so far away. Huh, there was a
I'm
blue
still
anyway.
waiting.
Monster's this side, so I'll just stay this side. Oculus Ring. Man, the monsters are everywhere.
I'm still waiting.
They just stay in one direction.
Not ready yet.
Oh, found the exit fast.
Need more time.
Conduit.
Not enough hatred.
Okay. Two.
Darkness awaits you.
I think there's two over there. Yep, there's two.
Not ready yet.
Do you want more?
I'm still waiting.
Three. I'm playing this like a push.
Not ready yet.
But this one is a little far.
Need more time.
Darkness awaits you.
I'm still waiting.
Wow. They had to slash.
Need more
Oh.
time.
Bleed, you filth.
Yeah, the other one's too far to go for.
Yes.
Oh. The blue here. Oh yeah, this blue was here initially. Oh.
Need more time.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hot. But this was not the yellow elite, right? The one that's on the top right. I don't think the top right walked this far. Maybe it did.
Was just a taste.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
Dinner, of course.
Need more time.
That was just a taste.
The yellow mosquito.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, the yellow mosquito decides to go up front. Bye bye.
Not ready yet. Need more time. I've become open.
The Rift Guardian is here.
Okay.
My hatred is too low. I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
Narrow space.
Let's see the gem.
Let's see the gem. Oh right, I was supposed to level up another. Thank you.
I need to go back.
I'm supposed to level up a few 135s because I have some that
I grant
actually
you the
deserve a
power.
135 on the Wave of Light gear as well. There's some that actually is worthy. 184.
You look like you could use a new item of
10 more
indeterminate
levels.
usefulness.
And then I can take a break. But I've been ranking up some Whisperers today, so got some work done very slowly.
Embrace your power, and you will survive.
I'm still waiting. Heal me!
Really? The shock tower actually got me that far. Or was it a fireball? Gotta be one or the other. Probably fireballs. Wasn't looking.
Not ready yet.
Oh, I didn't empower anyway. So it's not a big deal. But getting cheat death proc on a 134 is embarrassing.
Need more time.
Oh. Can I reach this? Thank you. Well, that saved me from playing scared.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
Could be using, obviously, more mobility for these, but I'm just using my solo push armory save.
Not ready yet. Need more time.
Spinner ads, really? And it's double yellow because the ghost hunted me down from the exit. How interesting.
That was just a taste.
Of course. Walk this distance.
Need more time.
Channeling. Maybe this is a fast 134. I mean, the shield did make it faster. A lot faster.
Not ready yet.
Let me kill some density here.
I'm still waiting.
Because shield's about to end anyways.
Not ready yet.
I think I see the foot of the pylon. Is it power? Yes. Perfect.
Need more time.
I get to play greedy again. I get to play greedy power pylon.
Not ready yet.
Ouch.
Need more time.
Oculus Ring under my feet.
That was just a
Can I
taste.
get an elite?
I'm still waiting.
Okay, I meant one. I meant one.
Need more time.
Not two. I mean, after not seeing any elites, they're obviously gonna put two.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet.
course, spinners. Of course. But it's alright. Wow, proc twice this 134. That's bad.
I'm here to help.
Right, so I think I should get more 135. Okay. Might as well get all to 135. Or not.
I am returning to town.
You
Almost
have
there.
proven yourself worthy.
I've become more formidable.
7 more paragons. New transmog. Phalanx shield. Interesting. Only 50%. Oh, I'll extract it for fun.
You're imaginative, aren't you?
And then I have to gamble.
You look like you could
Or
use a new item of. Do come back again. Do come back again. You look like you could use a. Do come back again. What? I didn't even know I had that thing. You look like you could use it. See you soon. Don't forget, luck always changes.
pen. Seven more paragons. Oof.
Enemies of the
Usable pinkish red. Or like a little
I'm
bit.
still waiting.
Poison mob set. This might proc me too. Since I'm not using drifting shadows, it's very likely that it'll proc me at some point.
Not ready yet.
Get out of this space.
I'm still waiting.
This fire shaman. Oculus Ring. Bye-bye.
Not ready yet.
Oculus Ring.
That was just a taste.
And all these poison.
I'm still waiting.
Or
Not ready
on
yet.
the ground too. I mean, the reflect doesn't
I was one
help.
of these.
Wow, that reflect.
Need more time.
That is just crazy reflect.
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Feel my wrath.
I grow weak.
What was that?
Need more time. I am ready.
I don't know what that was. All I know is I think my bola didn't go through. Okay, I'm in the poison
Heal
I
me.
must wait longer.
minefield.
Do you
This is bad.
Need more time.
This is like a minefield.
Not ready yet.
Aw, I wish that was shield. Because this is only gonna make the minefield even worse.
I'm injured. I grow weak.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Not ready yet. I'm still waiting. Need more time.
Yep.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, come on, man. It had to die like right there.
Need more time.
I was even dodging the other side, and then they had to die like right there.
Not ready yet.
That's first rip in a long time too. Yeah,
Need more time.
this rift is way too painful.
Not ready yet.
This rift is so painful. Like, poison that's like ahead of me, and then
I'm
a
still
thousand electrified. Conduit also killed something that I wasn't expecting on one side when I was dodging the other side.
Not ready yet. Your fear betrays you. I'm still waiting.
They only want to make the last 7 paragons even slower.
Not ready yet.
They're like, oh, you've been enjoying your time. Okay, let's
Sweet
make it
revenge.
7 minutes.
I'm still waiting.
7
I become
paragons
stronger. I wish I could do that.
in half an hour. Oh, I didn't get that
Need more time.
shield pylon for the rip?
Paradise awaits you.
Really? That's not very nice.
Not ready yet. I'm still waiting.
That rip is so annoying. This is like a 7-minute rift. Today I had a 636 and I thought that was slow. This is like a
I'm still waiting.
7-minute.
The Rift Guardian is here.
I learned much from that.
Not ready yet.
At least I got a petrified scream. But
I'm here to help.
alright. So please, thank you. Okay. So now I just need to get the rest closer.
ancients would be
I feel more
6:45. I was close enough. Basically 7 minutes. And these holy point shots are not ancient. Old 84. Alright, 5 more. And they are really just testing my patience with the difficulty. They are ramping up the difficulty of the 134s now. They're just making it 6-minute riffs. Like after all those 4.5 to 5, they're turning everything to like 6 and 7 now.
not ready yet.
I mean, I did.
I need healing.
Okay, I was checking something to make sure I didn't miss something.
I'm still waiting.
Because sometimes when you mess with the save, it didn't bring something over. This is another painful one because it's Soul Ashers start anyways.
Need more time. I'm still
And
waiting.
it's double mortar.
I feel more powerful. Not ready yet. Need more time.
Oculus Ring under my feet.
Not ready yet.
Alright, I just need this floor to end.
Need more time.
Thank you. Early power. Well, this is too early to save. But I have to do something else with this though.
Ready yet.
So now keeps this. There's an okay monster type with this keeps, so fine.
I'm still waiting.
But I'm trying to like get rid of something before I pick it up. Can I just wait here? Thank you.
Need more time. I'm still waiting. Bleed, you filth!
Okay, shielding. Don't shield up, don't shield up. Thank you.
Not ready yet. Darkness awaits you!
Oh, that saves me time.
Need more time.
Alright. This is not gonna be a 6-minute.
I'm still waiting.
Thankfully.
Not ready yet.
Where are you going?
Need more time. I'm still waiting.
This keeps is actually really nice. In comparison to most keeps. It has the 3 best pylons. and the monster type is not bad.
That was just the
The
tip.
Rift Guardian has found
Need more time.
And that Rift Guardian is not bad. So
Not ready yet.
that was a lot better because of all the pylons.
I'm here to help.
Because of all the pylons. Not even a 130 gem.
impressive.
How satisfying.
430, not 330. Alright. One more rift.
Fortune favors.
But first,
Oh, that will look nice on you. You look like you could use a new. See you soon. Do come back again. Fortune favors. What a steal. What? I didn't even know I had that thing.
wow, physics 99. Alright. Last one for 2200. Of course. They're like, you enjoy that keeps? Let's
I'm still
do a
waiting.
different keeps.
Need more time.
I mean, this is not a bad keeps.
Not ready yet.
The explosion. Okay, this is a really dangerous spot to play.
Not ready yet. I need more time. I'm still waiting.
Okay. This keeps is not
Need more
bad
time.
either. Just dangerous. Not bad.
I'm still waiting.
Progression wise. Uh-oh.
Not ready yet.
I had no room to escape because I thought that was an exit spot, and it was, but I moved to the edge.
I'm still waiting.
Instead of outwards.
Not ready yet.
This is bad news. Me.
I'm still waiting.
Real bad news.
Need more time. Not ready yet.
right hand is hurting. That's why. It's on, like, on the table for a little too long.
Not ready yet. I'm still waiting.
But luckily, okay. I enjoyed keeps, but I didn't mean it that way.
Not ready yet.
I didn't mean to give me a double keeps.
Need more time.
Oh man. Poison mob set as well.
I'm still waiting.
Like double keeps, poison mob set
My hatred is too low.
with a conduit that's zapping ahead.
Time.
Just a taste.
Not ready yet.
Oh man, give me the shield either.
I'm still waiting. Not ready yet. Need more time. I'm still waiting.
Feel my wrath.
Need more time.
Click it, man. Ah. Poison mob set
Not ready yet.
after 4 hours. It's starting to annoy me.
Need more time.
The Rift Guardian is
I don't normally mind poison mob set, but
Not ready yet.
when they are like taken out ahead of time by the conduit, feels terrible.
What do you need?
Alright. Let's get this to 130. Okay. Guess I'll just work on something else now.
I am
Alright.
returning to town.
well fought, Nephilim.
I've become
Exactly 2200. Yeah. I mean, with the slow runs, but exactly 2200. Ooh. Sadly, it's 584 dexterity. But I'll hang on to it. Alrighty. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm gonna take a break here.